so.
I've read them a couple of times, I may not stay for that.
Yeah, that's
All right,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
And I'm not-
fine, because you've seen it,
Yeah.
we've all
I've heard
seen
it.
it, the main thing is, we wanted to get it on
Oh,
television.
sure.
Okay, you're live.
Okay, so we'll move to open the meeting here at 7:03. So, I put in the package the minutes from the last 3 meetings, because we hadn't done anything with those, as it turns out.
Now, Mike,
Yes,
we should go to the town, in the town clerk's office.
Yes.
There's none in there for a couple of
yeah,
years.
I checked back, and so hopefully I can correct that problem.
Good.
I found them all, so it's just a matter
And
of,
then Nancy puts it online once they go to the town clerk's office.
Maybe.
yeah, I don't know about that, but.
I mean, the Board of Selectmen's meetings are just so far behind. I mean, there's no minutes up there. Haven't been for a
And
while.
there's no minutes in the town clerk's office either. Hi, Bruce, how are you?
Hey, Bruce.
All right, so take a quick look at those minutes, and then we'll take a vote on approving them, if you've got any questions on them.
Move to approve the minutes in February 3rd, 2014.
All right,
February. I have January and August. I have blank.
you don't,
I have back, I think.
I only looked.
there are 2 pages, they're double-sided.
Yeah, but this is, I only have the back side on this.
Oh, which one?
He just, his motion was for February.
The back of the.
Oh, there's like,
Oh.
oh, we got,
August, January.
Oh.
oh, I see, you've been doing catch-up, haven't you, Mike? Should we start with the oldest one first? or-
Yeah.
Wait a minute, where's February?
Oh,
I
yeah.
just sort of went to the,
Something
February
happened
is
with the
two-sided.
photocopying.
they go backwards chronologically.
August. Oh, yeah,
The
there,
February 3rd is right behind
January
the
6th.
agenda.
Oh, yeah. So,
Did you find it?
let's see. So what's,
Oh, got it, got it.
are you missing, does it turn out you're missing something, Bob?
Well, this one just begins with 4, and this is 1, 2.
Okay, so, where's your agenda?
Well, it is the agenda right here.
Okay. There's February.
Yeah.
Begin with that.
1, 2.
And it's
The rest of
two-sided.
February,
Oh,
3, 4. The rest of that, 4, 5. The rest of that, 6. Turn it all over. You're in order.
trying to trick us.
You just can't separate.
I see.
All right, so, let's see. All right, so we have a motion. Who seconded that?
Me.
To accept the meeting for February, minutes for February 3rd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, okay. Unanimous. And what do we say about the January ones?
Move to accept the meeting, the minutes of the meeting on January 6th, 2014.
And I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, abstained. Okay, and then we've got the August meeting.
I'll move to approve the meeting minutes of August 5, 2013.
Second.
You can't, you weren't there.
Or wasn't
Second, I'll second that one.
Well, you can, but.
All in favor?
Thank you, Catherine.
I never do that.
Abstain? Um,
Making that up.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain, okay.
So don't put me as voting yes for that one.
All right. We got that done. The current fund status, I was hoping to meet with the new finance director and get more exact numbers. But we'll have, these are rounded off tonight based on my work by moving backwards and then adding what I knew we got. So these are rounded off to the nearest 10, it's only to, it's not good to anything less than $10,000, so that's okay. But currently we have $2.94 million in our fund. And of that, 982,000 is committed to projects that hasn't been spent yet. Some of that may have been spent. And so that means we have 1.96 million of uncommitted funds in the till. And I think I mentioned last time that we got 100% match for fiscal year 2013. So that was, and this is included in the 1.96 million. We raised 236 million locally, and we got 236,000 locally, and we.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I know that was.
We did really well.
And we got $236,000 match from the state.
That was in FY13.
Yes. The word for, unfortunately, the word for fiscal year 14 isn't as good, so chances are we won't get 100% match in fiscal year 14, but we usually end up among the better matches because we have 3%, and so you get to go 3 rounds, and something else about our demographics the state likes, so that's why we always end up doing pretty well.
Why do you say we might not do as well?
Because they may not have enough money.
Yeah, but I mean, from what I understand, they are going to do the same thing they did this
Yes.
year with the 25 million.
Yes, yes,
Yes, it sounds like that'll go through.
yeah. So if that
it
goes
goes
through, then hopefully, we'll do well. I don't know. What's in the trust fund is what's questionable. So that's where we stand, and maybe at our next meeting, I'll either get a better form of everything that's been spent, just so we can look at it, or I'll have Denise come and talk to us about it.
On the same vein, I met with her today, our new finance director, and was going through other accounts, and I noticed that the Vito 2K for Doug Bunn to design it is under the general ledger. It's under the CPA, it's under CPA historical,
Yeah.
which would give me the indication that it would be coming from what was appropriated at town meeting, but I thought,
Yeah, that should have come out of
that's what I told her, and, okay, so do we have minutes to back that up?
We should, but I can't remember what meeting that is.
That would have been,
Because that's what she wants.
That would have been a year ago.
yeah, so it was right before we were ready to go to town meeting with a warrant by
Yeah.
a week or two, so
Yeah.
that would have been like January.
Yes, we
February.
had a meeting in,
Probably that, I bet it's February 3rd, unless it was January 6th, 7th. 7th.
January 7th, 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. 2013. Yeah. Oh, and then we had one April 10th. Those are the only two I have a record of, January 7th and April 10th. So, it could have been either
I
one
bet
of
it was-
those.
yeah. My recollection
January,
is-
right, if you go back, that probably is when it was, is January 7th, because remember, they came in talking about it, and
Yeah.
then we said, bring us back a proposal,
And we did real quick
yeah.
approval of the 2 grants.
Yeah.
So would you have a copy of it in your folder?
Not here, I don't
Okay.
think, but I can get it
Because
to
I'm
you.
meeting with her again tomorrow morning.
Oh,
The other
all right.
one that they messed up is on the preservation plan, they put it in CPA Maine, and it should have been also in CPA, that one should have been in historic.
Hmm.
So she's gotta back those out again. I'll go back, I think I have minutes of that meeting too. I'll provide that to her so she can make the change.
It's two-sided.
Do you have a new experience?
Okay.
Different stuff.
All right, so after, touch base with me after the meeting, but, so I need to get you January 2013 minutes, whatever I got, whenever that, when you're looking for
Sure, I made that motion.
veto decision. All right. The third thing that I want to briefly talk about is this year's warrant article. So, if you look at the minutes for our last meeting, which was February 3rd, those who were at the meeting decided to overturn the moratorium that we had voted last August. And then we decided to fund 2 projects. One is the Groveland Community Trail initial project for their phase 1 of doing the 10% plan. And the second one is what was the American Training Affordable Housing proposal. Now, they came in and they were looking for $50,000. We spoke to them about it, and they decided to cut it back to doing 3 very specific things for $30,000. So I put that article in, and then after that, I somehow found something on state housing that said that landscaping and generators, specifically they said, were considered maintenance, and they didn't recommend that those things be CPA type projects. And then the selectmen decided to take it off the warrant, not because of that reason exactly, but because they were concerned, similarly though, they were concerned about it, CPA funds being used for units that were already in place, and, could that be maintenance? Was there a better place to spend affordable housing money? So, it turned out that, we probably both agreed, we would have both agreed to probably take it off the warrant. So,
Yeah, but it sets a precedent.
yes,
The-
yes.
I mean, we got the Board of Selectmen represented at this meeting. I mean, it seemed to me that if they had reservations about it, at that time is when they should have expressed them.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Plus, I was talking to Kathy about this before, because I spoke with Stuart Saginaw of, the Community Preservation Coalition. So I told him, that the selectmen had taken one of our warrants off one of our articles off the warrant, and he said, that's not a good thing. Even though they can legally do it, it's usually not done. It's not done.
Because I thought the law gave the authority to the CPC. It's
Yeah,
not
I
in
thought
their
so
hands,
too,
so I
but-
don't see where they can have that authority.
He said in the spirit of the CPA, no other towns do that kind of thing. They let the CPC decide whatever projects they want to bring forth and then let the people at town meeting decide rather than, prevent things from going on the warrant.
But the bottom line is, they were in agreement with CP
Yes,
Yeah, they were in
yes,
agreement.
yes.
That
So in
was-
this case,
to spend that kind of money on flowers.
in this case, I'm not concerned about it, but I think, I think that I will probably have a discussion just with the selectmen sometime in the future to make sure we all know, what we expect. At least, that's the way I feel.
Yeah, I just don't like
Because-
the precedent, because now they think that they can just second guess any decisions we make.
Right,
That they have some authority over it and
right.
can unilaterally change what we decide,
Mm, mm.
right or wrong.
Okay. The next thing is, this is the newsletter. I usually do one of these handouts for town meeting. And so, this, it's a draft. It's not probably 100% error-free, because I put this together, yesterday. But take a look at it, and, so that's what I'm gonna hand out. We're only talking, at the top there, we're talking about the one CPA project, the what is the CPA, that's pretty generic. And then, I talked about the fact that we got 100% match. And then finally, the Center Street Greenway update, because I've had a lot of people asking about what's going on with that.
Mike, under Center Street Greenway update, you talk about the busing property. It's my understanding that they've left an article on to have that taken off.
Yes, that's true. But the selectman told me that if per chance the seller was able to get clear title before next
Right.
Monday, they would remove that article.
Before when?
Next Monday.
Right.
Well, this has been
I'm
going
not
on.
next Monday, the day of town
Town
meeting.
meeting.
Yes.
It's
So-
been going on for how long?
Yes, but I would say, there's a possibility that that could happen, from what I've,
And they haven't been able to do it after all this length of time, but now in the next.
well, when you put
3
a
weeks
gun
or
to
so.
somebody's head,
Yeah.
it's like, finally, somebody decides, yeah, maybe we could make this work.
What is the nature of the hangup? I mean, is there one sliver of land or something, some piece that's in dispute?
Yeah, there's a big chunk,
A big chunk?
when they consolidated it all, some of the paperwork didn't get done correctly. And so, they're trying to track that down, and of course, this happened, long time ago, which makes it even harder.
And what is the status on the other two?
The other two, well, Bruce and I have been working very hard on these. And the Angelini property, we have the permits are just about ready to present to the selectmen. And then we can do final negotiations with Mr. Angelini and hopefully be ready to close once that's done.
What final negotiations have to be done?
He has some, we don't have, upon advice of town council, we don't have a purchase and sale with him yet. Town council advised that we get the permits in place before we do the purchase and sale. So he has some things about naming part of the property under a certain thing, and I'm trying to remember what some of the other ones. Yeah, he wanted to name the well a certain
Well, or something
name.
after.
And
Name the well?
yeah, a few other just funny things that,
Yeah, it's really just, it should be just a rubber stamp to complete the P&S, but until we're there,
yeah,
This has
we
been
gotta think
going
it
on
happened.
for so long.
it's been a year.
yeah,
More. It's just outrageously long.
yeah, yeah. But
Um,
we've been doing things, it's just that.
Yeah, it's been moving along, it's just snail's pace.
Will it happen before town meeting or not?
No, I don't think so. I
We should
doubt
do
it.
but It's just kind
But
of
it-
embarrassing for everybody.
That that one could potentially happen, you know, I would say within 6 weeks,
Yeah,
potentially.
close.
And the Mattingly property, they are having a title problem, but I think that it's a minor title problem. Really, the thing that's holding up this one is that we are gonna get a land and water conservation grant of about $200,000. We have to wait until the state tells us that we can buy the property and get the grant. So that's really what's holding that one up.
But
Well- I mean, I thought the way those things worked, that you could buy it and then, you know, like the town could use their money, but then they get reimbursed when the grant comes in.
They're all, a lot of them are different,
Ah,
and if more like that, competition.
This was similar to the one, like when we bought Meadow Pond, we had, what's that outfit there, they bought it, and
Yeah.
they held it for us before we were able to buy it, so that we didn't have to wait for the state grant.
hmm, okay.
just, again though, we're gonna leave that in there, that we're gonna buy that or not buy it, or?
Mhm. Yeah, because those two CPA projects,
No, okay, they're fine, the actual two, but
Yeah.
the busing one though. isn't it?
yeah, well, the busing, you're saying in this thing,
Yeah,
yes. I should know, I mean, I'm gonna have to decide, I may change that based on if I don't hear anything, I think from what I've been told, something's gonna happen and it's gonna be fairly soon, like in the next week. And so, you know, if we're there on the night of town meeting and I haven't heard, then the selectmen are gonna withdraw that, not withdraw that article, they're gonna leave that article to rescind the vote,
right,
yeah. And so then, yes, I will change what this says.
but this is for town meeting or not?
Yes, but I do these at home, so, you know, that day I can change it and print them out.
So,
But if you're passing it out at town meeting,
Yes,
and you don't know until,
no, I know before
you'll know
that,
before.
yeah, I
Because this
will.
would be dishonest to pass.
Oh, yeah, no, I,
It'll
believe
reflect
me,
what the situation is at town meeting,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
That's what
So-
it is,
Yeah, so I will know that day I'm sure I'll know before that, but that day, if I don't hear anything, I will take this out, change this, and I'm only gonna pass out then what it says about the other two properties.
so is what the selectmen doing, are they basically putting a gun to Bussing's head, you know, in terms of getting
Well,
this thing
I don't know if,
consummated?
maybe Tom can explain that to us. Do you know about the idea of what happens, why the selectmen don't wanna leave the bonding ability there? Because somebody else could use it for something?
Because after this year, then it becomes free cash, it can be used for anything.
Oh, okay.
Not to buy not only to buy that, can be used for anything at all, it's just like money sitting in there that
Mm-hmm.
we have.
So would the idea be to rescind it, and then if it comes through at some later date, to
Put it back.
another
Well,
special town meeting or something?
Yeah, we would no, Nancy has told me that if they rescind that, we're gonna have to go and do another town meeting and another vote in order to do it. So Jim Bussing knows that,
Okay,
I've told them that, so that's why it's kinda like putting a gun to his head, you know, he has to do whatever it's gonna take to make it have a clean title.
okay.
I just, I don't understand it, I guess, I mean, in terms of why it's so hard, I mean, it's a lawyer problem, isn't it? You find a right attorney to get the job done, I mean, it seems like it's just a matter of getting somebody to do a job.
Yeah, well,
get it done.
it's getting somebody to do something that they don't wanna do.
Well, who's they?
Whoever this party is that doesn't want to cooperate.
Well, there's more relatives involved and all that.
Yeah, it's, you know, something regarding that sale that he made and the whole thing, and the documents weren't correct, and so now, you know, this person's relatives have to sign stuff and say, yeah, they agree, and blah, blah, blah.
Basically release it, so you have to go to the next generation or generations of heirs to whoever signed the original
That always works out
document.
well.
Straight in.
You know, particularly with the kind of money we're throwing around here too, and when they get wind of that, you know, they probably have already, I'm sure. So, oh, well, we can cash out on this or something.
So that's where that is. So, yeah, so I won't, believe me, I will only hand out the truth, because someone will call me to task on town meeting floor, which I don't want to
Right.
have happen.
And you say you're
Be
gonna
me?
make this a little more graphically appealing?
Graphically appealing.
Yeah, well, it's just long, long sentences, it's very hard to read this thing. you know.
Well, it's just a first draft, though, right?
Yeah, this is this draft.
Okay.
You can have it.
No.
All right.
Shut my mouth.
Tough crowd tonight.
Yeah, I know. All right, so we're ready for the presentation,
Great.
but they're not here.
I will get 'em. I just have a quick question about the other affordable housing one. What if we do take a vote to decide to remove it as a CPA, so that it would be our decision to do it? If we in fact agreed with that decision, and then maybe write a letter saying, you know, in the future, we would hope that the point of the committee
Yes.
is that we make those decisions and
Yes.
trust that you would trust that that's why we are created, to take care of the money, you know, just to prove that we do agree with the decision.
Well, yes, and
that
plus
not
we
spend
have
money on
a,
landscaping.
we have a slightly different reason for removing it. You know, we're removing it on the advice that indeed this, the state's housing says that these particular things are maintenance and they shouldn't be paid for by CPA funds.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a slap in the hand that we needed as a board, because it should have been checked before, it should have been vetted before we voted to approve it. Maybe it's a slap in the hand the board needed.
And it's,
The outcome
but
may
it's
have
a
been that,
different,
but
it's
it's-
a tough law to interpret, though. It really is, because things that I've seen go through, I say, oh, how'd they do that? You know, in other times, I've seen things go through that you question.
This
So
is,
it's a tough law to read.
it's very specific. If you read this thing that they sent out, it won't cover things that benefit the people who live in the house, only if it benefits the house. So, like, you can't pay for, a generator, say, and say, well, that's gonna protect the people if the power
It's not
goes out.
benefiting
Yeah,
the
you know,
property.
it would only be, like, how can that generator benefit the house itself, you know? Which is weird, so I mean, I would never have thought that myself.
But maintenance on, let's say, like if the Pines is completed, we could spend
Yes,
it, maintenance
yes.
to maintain
Yes,
that,
yes,
that
if
word
we,
maintenance
or if
works for
we,
that.
we buy open space property, we can spend money on that to maintain it.
Okay, but a roof
But
on
not
affordable
affordable
housing
housing.
could have been helped.
Yes,
Because it was the structure that would
Yes,
get damaged rather
yes,
than the people
right,
wouldn't get
right.
that.
right, so
Right.
that's a very fine point.
Mhm.
You know, so this is our job to kind of, number one, we need to figure out, do these needs meet some need in Groveland? And then, number two, is it a legally acceptable or whatever, acceptable thing that we can pay for? Does it fit into the criteria? That fit into the criteria, I think, is fairly easy, but then when you get to the real fine points, usually what I do in the case like this is contact, if I have any doubts, I contact Stuart and ask him, because